the Beverly Hillbillies. The sun climbed slowly over the rolling hills, casting a golden glow upon the modest dwelling where Jed Clampett sat on his front porch, a man of simple pleasures and honest intentions. He surveyed his little kingdom with a satisfied twinkle in his eye. The world was waking up, and he had his chores to attend to. He called out to his beloved companions, his voice carrying the warmth of a man who cherished every living thing. "Bessie, you are a real good ape," he remarked, watching the creature move with surprising grace near the porch. "I am proud of you. And you, Rusty, you have been doing a good job keeping the gophers and the moles out of the yard. Here is a nice little piece of fish for you." He tossed a tidbit toward the canine, who wagged his tail in enthusiastic gratitude. "Duke, old-timer," he continued, addressing his faithful hound, "I know that these chilly mornings give us senior citizens some aching in the joints. So, I stirred up a spoonful of my rheumatism medicine for you in your victuals. Here you are." "Sorry, Duke. I should have fetched you a chaser." He turned his gaze toward the barn, where Elmer stood, looking rather aimless. "Elmer, I really do not know what good you do around here," Jed mused aloud, though his tone held no malice. "Far as raccoons go, you are a handsome fellow. Here is a little treat for you, and eat it in good health." Penny, who had been observing the scene, stepped forward with a thoughtful expression. "Oh, a chair," she said, gesturing to the porch furniture. "You just proved something I have been suspecting for a long time." "What is that?" Jed asked, leaning back against a wooden post. "Ellie does not get her love of animals just from my side of the family," Penny replied softly. "You have got a soft spot in your heart for them, too." "Well, I did not want the pesky varmints to starve to death," Jed clarified, though he could not hide the gentle smile that touched his lips. "Well, it was not just the victuals," Penny insisted. "I heard you sweet-talking them." "Well, I did not want them to be missing Ellie," Jed admitted, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "So I did it because they would not be howling and crying and raising a ruckus. You have done a good job." Old Duke has sure got a smile on his face. Just then, the familiar sounds of arrival echoed from the driveway. "Hi, Tom," Jed called out, standing up to greet his guest. "Are you ready?" "Ready," the man replied, stepping out of his vehicle. "Yeah, you girls are up mighty early," Jed remarked, noticing the others approaching. "Miss Jane is so excited about her new fellow, she does not sleep much no more," a voice chimed in. "Love hastens the rosy dawn, and bits of restless sleep be gone." "Miss Jane, you sure do have a way with words," Jed chuckled. That was swift, the newcomer noted, referring to their journey. "Yeah, it did not take long," Jed agreed. "Excuse me, y'all. I want to say hi to my critters." "Well, Miss Jane, we is mighty happy to hear about your old man," Jed said, turning back to the group. "Yeah, come on inside and tell us all about him." "How can I describe him?" Miss Jane began, her eyes sparkling with uncharacteristic whimsy. "He is tall, he is handsome and divine. Any girl would swoon to have him, and yet, he is totally mine." "Jeb, there just ain't no justice," a voice lamented from the side. "Miss Jane has got herself a handsome fellow. And there is your daughter, Pug, and an ape." "Good morning, Ellie," Jed greeted his daughter as she approached. "Fortunately, the monster from the Forbidden Vault is not here yet," Ellie quipped, patting the ape gently. "Well, guess he will not be no trouble," Miss Jane said, looking at the creature. "He is so lonesome for me." "Well, if anybody can get away with bringing an ape to the bank, it is you," Jed laughed. "Actually, we could put glasses on her, seat her at a vice president's desk, and no one would ever notice," Miss Jane suggested with a grin. "Hear that, Bessie? You are going to be a vice president," Ellie cheered. "Oh, do not make any rash promises, Ellie," Miss Jane cautioned. "There are some apes here who have seniority. You sit right here and behave yourself, while Miss Jane may figure out where to put you." "Miss Jane, Bessie is awfully good at dusting and washing windows and such," Ellie offered. "Well, do not worry about it, Ellie," Miss Jane replied. "The chief is not due for half an hour. We will have plenty of time to figure out." "It sounds like somebody is typing in my office." "Sure does," Jed observed, tilting his head toward the door. "It is Bessie." "What a remarkable aptitude for typing," Miss Jane marveled. No, you cannot have a raise, a voice called out from behind the door, followed by the clatter of keys. Now, do not ask me again. And do not think you cannot be replaced just because you are a vice president. From it which it London, won't it? Ellie's typing is improving, Jed observed dryly. Put Bessie in here, quickly. Well, good morning, girls, a new voice announced as the door swung open. Good morning, Mr. Drysdale, they chorused. Good morning, Chief, Miss Jane added. Miss Hathaway, you know that new Vice President Bill Steele, he is asking for a raise again, Mr. Drysdale grumbled. What a jerk. Chief, you could hardly call Mr. Steele new, Miss Jane corrected gently. He has been a vice president for 15 years, and he has never had a raise. Would you think after 15 years, a jerk would quit asking? Mr. Drysdale retorted. Oh, Mr. Drysdale, do not go in there, Miss Jane urged. Why not? Because there is a maintenance man working in the plumbing in there. Yes, sir, that is right, Chief, someone added. No union problems, no portal-to-portal pay, no. What was that? Chief, it is just a chimpanzee, Ellie explained. What in the name of the Federal Reserve System is an ape doing in my bank? Mr. Drysdale bellowed. Where is he? Please do not yell so loud, Mr. Drysdale, Ellie requested. He is getting full of bits. He has to dance. Ellie dear, is he yours? Mr. Drysdale asked, his voice trembling. Yes, sir, Ellie confirmed. What a darling little dad. Did the bad bank president frighten the cute itty-bitty ape? Call her Bessie. She likes that. Hers is the sweetest little Bessie we ever willed. That is my baby. Wasn't that darling? Did you see that, Miss Alloway? Wasn't that darling? Yes, I enjoyed it immensely, Miss Alloway stammered. Get rid of it. Chief, she is an awfully good worker, Miss Jane interceded. Worker? Well, yeah, she can wash windows, clean light fixtures, anything up high, Mr. Drysdale muttered. Oh, let her stay. She is no trouble, really. All right, Ellie, take her into my office, Mr. Drysdale sighed, defeated. Oh, thank you, Ellie beamed. You hear that, Bessie? You can stay. Let her sit at my desk, Mr. Drysdale instructed. She can play with my wife's picture. Chief, she might break it, Miss Jane warned. I know, Mr. Drysdale replied. Good morning, Robert. Jane, my dear, Robert said, stepping into the scene. You are as radiant this morning as a bird of paradise. Oh, thank you, Miss Jane blushed. And no crested cardinal could surpass your magnificence, Robert continued, sweeping a bow. Oh, Chief, have you met? Miss Jane started. Indeed I have, Mr. Drysdale interrupted. How are you, my boy? Late. Did we not say 9 o'clock for Miss Clampetts' driving lesson? Oh, yes, sir, we did, Robert replied. Robert has kindly offered to teach Ellie to drive my car, so she need not be dependent upon me for transportation. Marvelous, wonderful idea, Mr. Drysdale exclaimed. Go get Ellie. Right, Chief, Robert acknowledged. Well, how is your beloved uncle? Which one? Uncle Paul. Paul Getty, the billionaire? Oh, that one, Robert mused. Yes, how is it? Rich. You are a man of few words, Mr. Drysdale noted. I like that. I forgot about my driving lesson, Ellie said, reappearing. Naughty girl, Robert chided gently. This very important man is donating his valuable time to help you. You should be extremely grateful that a man of his exalted position would take the time and trouble. Knock it off, will you? Jed laughed. Does he know how to turn a phrase? What a beautiful human being. Well, run along, you two, Mr. Drysdale dismissed them. Drive carefully. Oh, hey, you might want to make some notes on Ellie's driving. Here is a handy pad for you. These are deposit slips, Robert noted, peering at the pad. Oh, really? Oh, well, who knows? They might come in handy, Mr. Drysdale said. Goodbye. Take all the time you want. Happy motoring. Wonderful fellow. He certainly is, Miss Jane agreed. He is what it takes to make any woman happy. The 3 L's. 3 L's? Looks, luck, and loot, Miss Jane recited. That is right, Bessie, Ellie whispered. Break that teen lady's picture. Sure did, thank you for my driving lesson, Mr. Roberts, Ellie said as they returned, looking slightly disheveled. What was it you said you needed again? Robert asked, wiping his brow. A tranquilizer, please. Would it help you to get rid of that green look? Ellie inquired. I hope so, Robert moaned. I ain't just sure Miss Jane has got any of them their tranquilizers. Oh, just a couple of aspirins and some water will be fine, Robert suggested. I will just sit here. Oh, I am afraid that sofa ain't too comfortable, Ellie noted. Oh, he will be okay, Robert insisted. Believe me, anything that is not going 60 miles an hour through a 30-mile zone is comfortable. Hey, Ellie, you have really got to learn the difference between the brake and the accelerator. Well, I think I already know, Ellie replied innocently. The accelerator is what you push when you want to stop. Oh, boy, Robert sighed. Here, these pills do not help you. You go see my granny. She is a doctor. Your grandmother is an MD? Robert asked, sitting up. That is right, mountain doctor, Ellie beamed. My granny comes from the hills of Tennessee, and the womenfolk have been doctoring for hundreds of years. Are you feeling well enough to drive me back to the bank? Robert asked. Not quite yet, Ellie admitted. Tell me a little bit more about your family. Well, Pa is real easygoing, Ellie explained. You would like him straight off. I understand he is worth quite a bit of money, Robert pressed. Right around $100 million, Ellie confirmed. I like him straight off, Robert remarked, his eyes widening. Now, Granny, she is kind of hard to get next to, Ellie cautioned. Too bad you ain't from Tennessee. Well, what part of Tennessee is she from? Well, she was born and raised down around Limestone, Ellie said. That is David Crockett country. You like him? Robert asked. Love him, Ellie replied. Used to watch his show every week. Granny thinks the sun rises and sets in old Davy. I am beginning to like him myself, Robert murmured. You feeling better? Yeah, Ellie replied. Well, I will drive you to the bank and have another lesson. I am not feeling that much better, Robert quickly interrupted. Besides, did not Mr. Drysdale say you could have the day off? Come to think of it, he sure did, Ellie said. You reckon it is all right if I take a sunbath up on the roof? Oh, I recommend it, Robert said eagerly. And I will come up and see you when I get back. Oh, thank you, Ellie said, touched. My pleasure, Robert replied. Bye. See you later, Ellie waved. Well, getting acquainted with Satterwhite is a new world of good, a stranger remarked. You look almost like a gentleman. Thanks, Mr. Fink, Robert replied. How about the 3 months back rent? Did the money come from MGM? MGM? Oh, my grandmother, Robert stammered. No, not yet, but maybe today. Look, Dick, Mr. Fink snapped. It is Robert now. Robert Audubon. But you can call me Bob. See you later. Hold it, Mr. Fink commanded. Hold it, Bob. Pay up. I am going to change the lock on that apartment. Oh, look, Mr. Finney, Robert pleaded. I am on my way right now to try out for a part. Now, if I give a good performance, I will be in Clover. Believe me. What kind of a part? Mr. Finney asked, crossing his arms. Well, it is sort of a Davy Crockett type, Robert explained. Well, you will get the hair for it, but... Mr. Finney started. Well, I am on my way right now to change into my Tennessee clothes, Robert interrupted. I do not know that I should trust you, Mr. Finney said. Believe me, you can, honestly, Robert vowed. I mean, this is a great opportunity. How about a little cash? Mr. Finney asked. Oh, thanks, Robert said, relieved. I could use 20. Oh, I know I should not do this, but you took my advice about Miss Hathaway, and I like that, Mr. Finney muttered. You young fellows usually do not listen. Oh, I listen, Robert promised. I am breaking a long-standing rule and lending money to an actor, Mr. Finney sighed. I really appreciate this, Mr. Finney, and thanks for trusting me, Robert said. And do not worry. You will get this double sawbuck back. Oh, I am not worried, Mr. Finney replied. When I get it back, you will get this back. You are all heart, Mr. Finney, Robert said, turning away. What you got there, Granny? Jed asked as he entered the kitchen. Dinos, Granny replied, stirring a large pot. I taught them for you. You ain't feeding the critters again so soon, are you? Jed asked, looking at the steaming kettle. No, Jed. That ain't for the critters, Granny said, her face unreadable. Where will I put it, Granny? Jed asked, picking up a ladle. Just set it here by the driveway, she instructed. Who is it for? Jed pressed. I would appreciate it if you did not ask me that, Granny said sternly. You might want to do something about it. Well, I might have did, Jed murmured. Who is it for? It is for Jethro, Granny whispered. Where is Jethro? Jed asked, looking around. I do not know, and I do not want to know, Granny said. He slips by at odd hours, scoops up the kettle, and skedaddles back into hiding. Why is he hiding? Jed asked, concerned. He thinks that little girl from Louisiana is still here waiting to marry him, Granny explained. Well, why do you not leave him a note and tell him she is gone? Jed suggested. All right, Jed. I will do that, Granny agreed. But I can still use a few more days of peace and quiet. I will leave the note next Monday. Granny, Jed called out. Yeah, make it Tuesday. Howdy, a visitor shouted as he approached the front porch. Howdy, Jed returned the greeting. Howdy, Granny added, shielding her eyes from the sun. Be this the Clampett place? The visitor asked. It be, Jed confirmed. I am Jed Clampett. This here is Granny. Oh, Crockett is the name, the man introduced himself. Robert A. Crockett. Pleased to meet you. Where are you from? Jed asked, intrigued. Oh, my family hails from down around Limestone, Tennessee, Robert replied. And your name is Crockett? Yes, ma'am, Robert said, bowing slightly. Is you by any chance kin to the one and only Davy? Granny asked, her voice filled with sudden reverence. I reckon I am, Robert said with a humble nod. Did you hear that, Jed? Granny whispered, her hands clasped together. I sure did, Jed replied, his own face mirroring her awe. Well, he is right on her. How did you hear about us? Jed asked. Well, your lovely granddaughter told me about you, Robert explained. She said you are all from Tennessee, too. Born and raised, not a stone throw away from Davy's cabin. Well, I reckon that you ought to have the family heirloom, Granny declared. What is that? Robert asked. Davy's cap, Granny said, pulling a worn piece of fur from her apron. You mean Davy himself wore this? Robert asked, taking the cap as if it were spun gold. The day he followed Annie Jackson into battle, Granny said firmly. Davy never followed nobody, Robert corrected gently. He led. Oh, I am sorry, ma'am. Granny apologized, feeling humbled. It is just that, well, I do not like to brag on my kinfolk. Well, you have got every right to brag on somebody that likes a Davy Crockett, Robert said. But how can you part with something as important as this? Well, you see, sir, I am not a Tennessean born and bred, and, well, I figured old Davy would like Granny to have it, Robert said, his eyes filled with a manufactured sincerity. Oh, bless you, my son, Granny cried, tears welling in her eyes. Bless you. How did Davy seen his shoes straight wearing this? Well, likely his head was a mite bigger, Robert said, suppressing a smirk. Well, I will be moving along, Robert said, turning to leave. No, 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 Granny insisted. Now you are going to stay and have victuals with us. Victuals? Robert echoed, his enthusiasm wavering. Yeah, how would you like Granny to stuff a possum for you? Jed suggested, beaming. Oh, not especially, Robert replied quickly. I do not believe in overfeeding animals. Back from lunch, Chief? Come on in, Miss Jane greeted Mr. Drysdale as he entered the office. Right-o, Mr. Drysdale grumbled. Oh no. What do you mean, oh no? Miss Jane asked, startled. It gives her a sense of pride to be active and useful, Ellie chimed in. A busy chimp is a happy chimp. Good, very good job, Mr. Drysdale muttered. Oh, why do not you sit down and have her brush your shoes? No, thank you, Mr. Drysdale said firmly. I do not believe in exploiting underprivileged animals. Oh, she enjoys it, Ellie insisted. Go ahead. Well, Mr. Drysdale sighed, sitting on a bench. I am going to put her down in front of the bank, Ellie said. I think it is a nice service for the customers. I must admit, she is very adept at it, Mr. Drysdale conceded. Are you kidding? Ellie laughed. She gives the best shine in town. Fast, too. Well, thank you, Mr. Drysdale said, standing up. You did an excellent job. That will be 35 cents. You are charging for her work? Mr. Drysdale asked, dumbfounded. I have got an investment in this equipment, Ellie said, pointing to the brushes. You think shoe polish is free? Oh, Chief, now. Miss Jane began. Come on, 35 cents, Mr. Drysdale sighed, reaching into his pocket. Hand it over. I do not have any change, Miss Jane said. All I have is $1. We can arrange that, Ellie said, taking the note. Give the lady her change. What does she want now? Mr. Drysdale asked, eyeing the ape. A tick, you cheapskate, Ellie joked. No skimming. Now get down in front of the bank and rustle up some business. And no pawning of tips, because I will be watching you right through the window. Well, we would be delighted if you could take victuals with us, Mr. Crockett, Jed said, pouring more coffee. Please call me Bob, Robert said, waving a hand. And the pleasure is all mine, Mr. Clampett. Oh, Jed, Granny scolded. Sorry you cannot set a spell and chew the fat with us. Oh, no thanks, Robert said, glancing at the clock. I could not eat another bite. Did you enjoy your meal? Jed asked, genuinely interested. Oh, sure did, ma'am, Robert said, addressing Granny. Them was right fine victuals. Well, you cannot hardly beat braised breast and buzzard, Granny said, stirring the pot again. Is that what I ate? Robert asked, his stomach doing a somersault. That was the main dish, Granny confirmed. You started off with dill-dowel gizzards. Rennie, I am looking a mite pale, Robert said, clutching his chest. Maybe he needs a little doctoring, Granny suggested. I will brew you up a pot of horseman and dogfell tea. No, thanks, Robert said, rising quickly. I really have to be going. Good night, Miss Hathaway. The car you driving? Jed asked. Oh, it is indeed, Robert replied, stumbling toward the door. I borrowed it to give Ellie Mae some driving lessons. Well, that was surpassing kind of you, Jed noted. And brave. Mr. Crockett, I want to thank you for giving me Davy's cap, Granny said, her voice filled with emotion. You are a dandy, fine fella. He is, for a fact, Jed agreed. You know, he just gave Ellie Mae a driving lesson. No, Granny said, surprised. Yep, Jed confirmed. She is a lovely girl, and, well, ma'am, Robert said, looking at Granny. Now that I have met you, I can see where she gets her beauty. Are you married? Granny, Jed started. Well, I only asked him, Jen, to see if he could qualify for a little shot of white lightning, Granny said with a wink. It is a family rule that you cannot sample a granny's brew unless she is married. I am single. I will go fetch me a jug. Granny, the man says he is single, Jed noted. The jug is for me, Granny snapped. I am going to celebrate. Granny, come back here, Jed called out. Well, it was sure nice meeting you folks, Robert said, backing toward the door. Well, I hope our affairs will cross again sometime. I will drink to that, Granny yelled back. Bye, y'all, Robert said, finally exiting. So long, Jed shouted. See you soon, son. He is a fine boy. Yeah, Jed agreed. I think Ellie has caught herself a real keeper. Granny, let us not count our fish until he is fried, Jed cautioned. Speaking of fish, Jethro has been here. That whole kettle of catfish stew is gone. Yep, Granny said, looking at the empty pot. Looked like he snuck in, snatched a snack, and snuck off. Wonder where that boy is hiding. Granny, ignorance is bliss, Jed said, leaning back. Let us keep it blissful for a while. I will drink to that, Granny replied, pouring herself a glass. Talk on if I ain't tempted to join you. Oh, Miss Hathaway, congratulations, Jed called out the next morning. On what? Miss Jane asked, smoothing her skirt. The improvement of Dick Bremerkamp, Jed remarked. Who? Miss Jane asked, confused. Oh, I am sorry. Robert Audubon. Oh, you have been a marvelous influence on the boy, Jed said, smiling. Well, thank you, Miss Jane said, her cheeks turning pink. He has done a great deal for me, too. You can thank me for bringing you two together, Jed boasted. I shall be eternally grateful, Miss Jane said. By the way, have you seen Robert? Yes, he just went up on the roof with his camera, Jed said. Doubtless in search of the elusive summer tanager. Could be, Miss Jane mused. I think I shall don my birdwatcher's uniform, scale the fire escape, and surprise the dear boy. Stay in there, Miss Hathaway, Jed said encouragingly. I am pulling for you. Thank you for your good wishes, Miss Jane said, her eyes shining. Oh, by the way, if you see him, ask him when he is going to come up with that double sawbuck. Double sawbuck? Miss Jane asked. I do not think I have heard of it. It must be an extremely rare bird. Ooh, Robert said, focusing his lens on the roof. I had a marvelous time with your family. Did Granny feed you? Ellie asked, joining him. Oh, please. Not while I am enjoying myself, Robert replied. It is beautiful. Now, hold it. Hold it right there. You mind, fella? We would like to be alone. Robert, it is I, Jane Hathaway. Miss Jane called out from the fire escape. Oh, boy, Robert sighed. Have you spotted the elusive tanager? Huh? Oh, yeah, Robert said, pointing to the sky. He went that-a-way. Oh, wait for me, Miss Jane cried, rushing toward the ledge. After we find the tanager, we will seek the double sawbuck. Now it is time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin, the narrator announced as the camera panned over the hills. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You are all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now, here? This has been a Filmways presentation.